The wedding invitation arrived in the mail on a warm Friday afternoon. I almost didn't notice it among the bills and advertisements, but the elegant white envelope, with my name written in my daughter's familiar handwriting, caught my eye. My heart swelled for a moment, thinking about how Emma, my only child, was finally getting married. But as I opened the envelope and read the words inside, the excitement quickly turned into a sharp, aching pain in my chest. It wasn't an invitation for me to attend. It was just a formal announcement of her wedding date. No RSVP details, no request for my presence, just a statement that she was getting married in 3 weeks. I read it over and over, my hands shaking. There had to be a mistake. I picked up my phone and dialed her number immediately, but I hesitated before pressing call. What would I even say? That I was hurt? That I felt betrayed? I took a deep breath and put the phone down, trying to process the reality of what this meant. My daughter, the girl I had raised alone, the one I had sacrificed everything for, had chosen not to include me in one of the most important days of her life. It wasn't just that I wasn't invited. It was who she had chosen instead. Through my sister, who had been invited, I found out that Emma had asked her father to walk her down the aisle. Her father, Daniel, who had been absent for most of her life. The man who had walked away when she was barely 2 years old, leaving me to raise her alone while he pursued his own interests. He had never been there for birthdays, for school plays, for doctor's appointments. The few times he bothered to reach out, it was with empty promises and half-hearted apologies. And yet, when she had to choose someone to give her away, she chose him. I sat on my couch that night, staring at the wedding announcement, trying to understand. Was it something I had done? Had I been too strict? Had I pushed too hard? I thought of the countless nights I had stayed up with her when she was sick, the times I had worked double shifts just to afford her dance lessons, the days when I had gone without just so she could have everything she needed. And now, after everything, I was the one being left out. The day of the wedding came, and I stayed home. I thought about showing up, about demanding an explanation, but deep down, I knew it wasn't my place to ruin her day. If this was her choice, I had to respect it, no matter how much it shattered me. I spent the day trying to distract myself, but nothing worked. Every time I closed my eyes, I imagined her in her wedding dress, walking down the aisle, her arm linked with the man who had never been there for her. A week passed before she finally called. "Mom?" Her voice was hesitant, cautious. I swallowed the lump in my throat. "Yes?" There was a long silence, then a sigh. "I wanted to talk to you." I waited. I wasn't going to make this easy for her. "I know you're hurt," she said finally. I just thought that if I gave Dad this moment, maybe he'd finally be the father I always wanted him to be." My heart clenched. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to scream at her for choosing him over me. But more than anything, I felt sad. Sad for the little girl who had spent years longing for a father's love. Sad that she had to learn the truth in the most painful way possible. "And did he?" I asked quietly. She didn't answer right away. When she finally spoke, her voice was small. Number he left before the reception ended. Said he had somewhere to be. I closed my eyes, the pain in her voice cutting deeper than my own heartbreak. I had seen this coming, but I had hoped, for her sake, that maybe, just maybe, he would prove us both wrong. "I'm sorry," I said softly. "Me too," she whispered. "I should have chosen the person who never left." Tears filled my eyes, but I didn't let them fall. I had spent years being strong for her, and I would be strong now. I wouldn't hold this over her, wouldn't make her feel worse than she already did. Instead, I simply said, "I'm here." And for the first time in a long time, I heard her break down,